pumpkin is still here. Hello my friends, it's Becky here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. Today I have a single book review and also my monthly wrap-up. I will explain. Basically, I have not done my wrap-up of September reads for a very simple reason. I did not read as many books as I planned at the very beginning in this video. I only read 2 books, which one of them I already made another single review video or film versus movie comparison, which was Under the Skin, which you could see. I was not very happy about that book or the story in general. And then the second book I read is this one, Where the Crawdads Sing. And original plan was to read more books, but yeah, then life happened. So I thought that I would not do like proper September wrap-up because I already spoken about one of those 2 books. So I decided to just do a single book review video because I love this book and I thought it would be a shame if I would never really speak about it or give you a little bit of a review and my thoughts on this. So give me a second. Oh, sorry, phone. Shh. So there we go. I read this book as a buddy read with 3 lovely people, The Lazy Bookworm, Ketevan Reads, and also Reading with Tatiana, and we had a lovely conversation over on Instagram. This book is basically a mystery. It's coming of age story and the story jumps back and forth in time. It's set in North Carolina between, I believe, 1952 and 1970s, and the main character of this story is Kaya or Kaya. I still haven't seen the movie, so I don't know how people pronounce the name, so I apologize if I'm completely wrong. In my head it was Kaya or Kaya. Yeah, she is the main character of this story and we follow her life journey from the very beginning, basically from her early childhood when she was growing up with her family, which was a very much toxic family because her mother decided to leave her and her siblings because of abusive husband and also unfulfilled dreams, you can say. And then Kaya was left with her siblings and the father, but one by one her siblings left as well, tried to find better future, better life, so she was left alone with her father, who was, as I mentioned, abusive and had a lot of issues with alcohol, and towards basically at the end he left as well. So she was left on her own and she had to learn how to live by herself through the loneliness and how to provide the basic things, basic needs, the food, and also she learned how to earn money to cover the basic needs she needed. And one of the big themes of this story is loneliness, because obviously since she was considered to be a weirdo by the community and by the village and all the people, and no one really showed her any sort of kindness except one couple who worked in a store nearby, and I really love this part of the story because the couple was really adorable. But other than that, this book is also very much speaking about how loneliness can affect one person, and how one needs to learn how to live with it sometimes. And throughout this story we watch her grow and also develop from really feeling lonely to the point when she basically feels comfortable with her own space and within this loneliness. However, there are 2 more characters, 2 more men who are crossing her life. One of them is Tate, who is a friend of her brother from school, and he is very much like a first friend she had. He showed her a lot of kindness and he teaches her how to read. And then there is another man called Chase Andrews, who is something like darling of the town, and they developed romantic relationship together. This book at the very beginning starts with the death of Chase Andrews, and from this part basically the story unwraps and we learn what happened, how happened, and why. And of course, because as I mentioned, Kaya was considered to be a weirdo of the village and people did not really like her, automatically the suspicious kind of falls on her. So very interesting premise, and in my opinion this was 5-star reads. I enjoyed it so much. I was very quickly immersed in the story. I absolutely adore the character of Kaya. I must confess that at the very beginning, during the first pages, for some reason she was a little bit annoying to me, but then I very quickly changed my mind and I absolutely adored her, and especially her willingness and her strength and how she learned to, as I mentioned at the beginning, how she learned to be comfortable with being alone, and it's something she accepted and she learns how to turn it into her advantage actually, and how to be happy within her environment, within the nature, within the marsh, and then exploring different animals, which also leads me to the nature writing in this book, because it's one of the most beautiful nature writing examples I have ever read. Honestly, the vivid description of the marsh, you can see the places where she was running through, where she lived. It was absolutely beautiful. It's, as I mentioned, mystery. It's a coming of age story. There is a little bit of romance, there is a little bit of drama, quite a lot of drama actually, and it really keeps you hooked. For me, I had several, really quite a lot ideas how the story can end, but I was still very much surprised and I did not see it coming until the very end. So 5 stars for this as well. There are some trigger warnings to be aware of. Obviously a lot of abuse, there is death, loneliness is, for example, for me it is a trigger warning. When I read the books where loneliness is kind of like heavy topic, sometimes it's like I like to know about this in advance, so that's something for you to be aware of. I'm thinking what else to say about this book, because I have my notes here, so I'll very quickly have a look, but I don't think there is anything else. The writing literally felt sometimes like poetry. It was very smooth to read. I finished this book within, I think, 3 days, and it's a little bit thicker. It's not the thinnest book ever, and I borrowed this from my flatmate. She very kindly lent this to me, this book, and I still haven't seen the film adaptation, although I've been planning to do this for ages, but I'm hoping that maybe tonight after filming this video I will finally get into it and I will read it. So yes, my friends, I think that will be my small review. 5 stars, loved it, absolutely perfect. Within the group chat we then had little conversation about the ending, and there were some questions raised, but I'm not gonna be talking about them here because obviously I don't want to spoil this if there is by chance someone who still haven't read the book, because I feel like I might be the only person who was reading this as last. But if there is still someone who haven't read the book or haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you. But it was interesting discussion, but then we kind of closed it with the way that maybe it's better not to ask two more questions, but still I very much enjoyed this book, and I'm very much looking to see the movie. So yes, please let me know if you read this book, what are your thoughts on this, and also maybe if you already seen the movie, give me some thoughts about whether the movie was better or it wasn't. I know many people, many booktubers were talking about this already, but yeah, someone must be last anyway. So this is what I wanted to speak to you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribe, because it would be very lovely to have you here, and I will see you with another video very soon. Take care, bye bye.